Good morning, guys. So today we're going to be trying out Becca's Ultimate Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. So I've got just a sample. I got my color in Driftwood. So Driftwood, let's see what it says about Driftwood here. Driftwood is light to medium beige, natural to yellow, golden undertones. So I just got the sample when you bought some stuff at Sephora, so I didn't have much of a choice, but I think it may match. Hopefully it does. So about this foundation, it says it is a full coverage for sensitive, normal, dry, and combination and oily skin. So that's a good plus. It says how to use to apply 1 pump of this foundation because this formula is highly concentrated. You only need 1 pump, it says, and then it says to use a brush to smooth it out on the face. If you want more coverage, then to apply it onto your hand and put more on the brush. So it doesn't say to use beauty blender or a beauty sponge with this foundation. I don't know if I'm going to yet. I think since it says to do a brush, I might do a brush first, and then if I need to blend it out with the blender, I'll do that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use my e.l.f. foundation brush today on both sides of my face. It's probably gonna be pretty thick, I would assume. Oh, it is really thick. It's really thick. As you can see, it doesn't even move around. So let's see. I think that's about a pump there. The color might be a little off, but we'll see how that works. Spray my face with the Smashbox setting spray this morning. I do have a sunblock on today. Here's what the sunblock is, because it's summer, so I'm starting to use sunblocks again. Then I have the Photo Finish Smashbox silicone primer on, and then I have some of the Photo Finish from Smashbox primer pore filler on in the middle of my face, like I always do. So let's go ahead and put this on. I'm just gonna take a little bit on my brush here. Let's see how that works. We'll go on this side first. This color may be off, but we'll see. All right, so obviously I started putting some on this side and I realized I probably shouldn't have. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like. You can see how I still have redness and how it did cover up the redness on this side. So I'm gonna just go ahead on the other side and finish putting that on there. So here's what it looks like all over the face here. I'm actually pretty impressed of the coverage of this. For some reason I thought this was going to be like a dewy foundation. I didn't read anything on it. I just read the description of it today when I was going to put it on. So it's literally been sitting on my counter for like a month now for me to test it out. I had no idea that it was this full coverage. It's actually really good full coverage. So it didn't, you know, completely cover up. I have like a little pimple there. Didn't completely cover that up, but I think that if I wanted to, I could build it up and cover that up really well so that it went away. But everything else, it seemed to cover up really well. I'm just gonna grab my mirror here and see really close. It's not really sitting too funkily in my pores. My nose area, it doesn't have like as full coverage on my nose as I would like it. So let me take this brush and just kind of pounce it in there. I don't know what it's doing on my nose. It feels like it's sitting kind of weird in my pores. You know how sometimes foundations will pull up on your pores there? So that's what it's doing. What I'm going to do is take a little bit of my Max Fix Plus and just spray it and see if that fixes the nose situation. And then I'm going to go ahead and just take my beauty blender or my blending sponge here and just kind of pat that there. Let's see what that does. It actually kind of started taking away some of the coverage. Alright, so that does feel a little bit better after I sprayed with the Max Fix Plus, and then I used my beauty sponge a little bit to smooth out this area. The nose area is still kind of funky, so of course this is a full coverage foundation, and sometimes full coverage foundations will sit weird in my pores, so we'll see how that's going to look throughout the day. I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of my makeup on And I'll be back to show you what it looks like with makeup on top of it. And then I'll tell you what I used for the day as well. So let me get you the time real quick. It is 6:38 in the morning. So I shall be back here in a few minutes just to show you what everything looks like with makeup on top. Alright guys, so here's what the finished look looks like. The makeup went really nicely on top of it. I had no issues with it moving around or anything like that. I didn't suspect that it would, since it was super, like, you know, full coverage. So I wouldn't say this is a full coverage. It's almost like a medium full coverage for me. I'm sure you can build it up. At that point, you're probably risking, you know, getting kind of cakey. But all of my stuff went on really well. I used the Morphe bronzing kit in Celebritant. I have the Life's a Drag on my eyes today, and then I have MAC's Velvet Teddy for my lips, and I have a Tarte blush on, Lovable. And that is about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and head to work. I'll be back in a couple of hours to show you what this foundation is doing throughout the day. I did spray my face with Urban Decay setting spray, this one here. So just so you know, my face is set. So alright guys, I shall see you in a couple of hours, and then I'll see you again at the end of the day. Alright guys, we'll talk to you later. It is now 1:26 in the afternoon. I'm doing my first check-in. And so far the foundation is doing really well. This is the first time I've got to actually look at it. I've been super busy at work today, and just looking at it right now, it looks really well. I did use a sunblock today under the foundation, and you know, sunblocks can be kind of oily, and it doesn't seem to be making an issue for this foundation whatsoever as far as the oiliness of the sunblock. And I did you know, set my face today, but I didn't do anything like outrageously besides add a sunblock, which can sometimes distort your foundation, and it doesn't seem to be doing that today. It seems to be holding up really well. All of my contour and blush still there, so I'm pretty pleased as to the way that the foundation is looking right now. It is breaking up a little bit right here in the mouth area, and I think that's just because of my jug that I use. It's kind of a big jug, so it's been getting wet, so that's probably this is not waterproof. But other than that, everything seems to be doing okay. It's not sticking in my forehead at all, in the wrinkle lines that I have there, and it's not gathering in my nose area either, where I have like some, you know, I normally get some gathering here, especially with a matte foundation. Once my oils and stuff start coming through, my oils have been doing really well. It's been holding my oils at bay really well. So other than just, you know, breaking up right here where I've been drinking some water, everything else has been doing really good. So I'm gonna go back to work. I'll come back in a couple more hours at the end of the day to show you what it looks like on a full day of wear, and then I'll give you my full decision of whether or not this is something that I would buy, or if you should pass on it. So I shall talk to you guys sometime within the next couple of hours, and we'll talk to you later. So it is now 6:24 in the evening. I just got home from work and everything else, so I wanted to check in and show you what this foundation looks like. So it still looks really nice. I didn't get any more of the patchiness on the lip. I think it was just, like I said earlier, from just drinking a bottle of water all day today, so that kind of rubbed off a little bit, but it didn't get any worse or any better. It just kind of stayed where it was, so it's not very visible unless you're really close. If you're far away from me, then you can't really see it. The foundation looks really nice. At this point, I am starting to get dewy, which you can tell. So it actually looks really pretty dewy as well. So I think that this foundation would be a really nice foundation if you want to pick it up. It does kind of cake up in my pores a little bit now at the 12-hour mark. It started doing that, I feel like, at about 10 hours of wear, when my oils were starting to come through a little bit. But as you can tell, the oils that I have gotten have been subdued by the foundation somehow, so it has kept the oils at bay for the most part throughout the day, and I haven't had any real issues with it. So I'm really pleased with how this foundation held up throughout the day. It doesn't look super cakey or anything like that. It just looks, you know, it just looks like my skin, but a little bit better. So this is BECCA Ultimate Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. I think it's a great one. I think it's a really good one. It is kind of pricey, on the pricey side. I don't know if I gave you the price this morning. I think it's $44. Let me look it up one more time to make sure. Yeah, it is $44. So it's not a cheap foundation at all. You do have 22 different shades, and it looks like the shade range varies. So it doesn't look like it's a bad shade range from light to medium to dark. So I don't know. I can't speak for other people, but they did have my shade color, and it matched pretty well. It was just a 1 pump foundation, which I thought was really good. So this little thing is gonna last me a while. I'll be able to use it for a while. So you are getting a lot for your buck when you think about it, since you only need to use 1 pump and use it with a brush, which is what I used to get the pretty much almost a full coverage foundation on your face. It's like a medium full coverage is what I got today. So I think it does really well at covering as well. So would I recommend this foundation for anybody? I would say yes. If this is something that you're looking for, something full coverage or full-ish coverage, and something that's going to last all day even if you have oily skin, I think this is going to be a good one for you. Who is this not for? Probably for somebody with extremely dry skin. Unless you exfoliate your face really, really well, this might not be good for you, because I do have like a little dry patch right here, and it does cling slightly to it, not overbearingly where it looks awful or anything like that, but I can see where it was dry there. So if you have over excessive dry skin, this may not work for you, unless of course you use, you know, a lot of exfoliants and then use a lot of moisturizers and sprays throughout the day. That might help you with it. But other than that, I think it's a great foundation. I will continue to use this little bottle, and it's a big possibility that I may end up buying this foundation in the end just to have on hand for me, because I like it. Alright guys, I hope this helped. Let me know if you have any questions about the foundation. I shall talk to you guys hopefully sometime within the week, and we'll see you later. Bye bye.